nothing risk, then nothing gain. Take a risk or lose the chance. And if your why doesn't make you cry, then the price of success will probably be too high. But realize, your mind is like a t-shirt. When it stretch, it never go back to its original size. So just try. We all wanna get in big rooms for what we pursuing, but the biggest room in the world is room for improvement.
I'm at the premiere, politicking with Top Nip and Snoop. Damn, cock watching the way we grew from dedication.
I fuck with y'all little podcast.
For the YouTube people, welcome back to Just Another Podcast 137. Let me turn the volume down. Let me get y'all back on. Boom, 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 boom. Y'all can speak now.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. All at once.
I got B Hood in the back on the cameras. V's in here. Brother Els, Keith, Liddy, Zay, Willie, Top G, Chris Featherston. Make sure you say the Featherston. Welcome to the Chris Featherston podcast.
I'm still rolling with that, bro.
This is your show.
That's not.
I'm your host,
audio, no.
Deem the Great, a.k.a. the People's Champ, a.k.a. Baldy with the glasses, and I got another great one for y'all.
That's right.
I kind of like Baldy with the glasses.
That's what they be calling me on TikTok when the women are triggered. They try to shame me. I'm bald, bitch. I don't care. Anyway, and I got on Cartier frames, but okay. Anyway,
We'll
I got
the Eminem approach.
Rule number 10.
Rule number, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm 8 minutes in already, and they my rules.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just trying to play by the rules. That's all.
And I got a great episode for y'all. He's back for the second time. Mr. Make It Happen, my boy Moody. What y'all, the big effing media company, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And they killing it out
biggest.
here. 820 subs. Real
1,000.
quick. Huh?
820,000.
Okay, my fault. I put K up there, my bad.
That's
No disrespect. No disrespect. No disrespect was me.
Let's be clear.
That's crazy.
820,000 subscribers.
That is insane, bro.
Crazy.
It did applause for that, bro. Almost a million.
Big.
Got the bomb for that.
That's what's up.
Live events, merch. Make sure you get you a knife, some seasoning. Flour just went on sale. It's already gone.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let him talk about that, bro. Welcome. How y'all doing?
Good, man.
I'm good, man.
Happy to be here. Y'all maximize the space in here really nicely. I'm learning.
We tried to.
Like,
We need a little more space.
I do good.
Where y'all want to start at, bro? Because I found you. Actually, Willie put me on to you. He was like, yo, that dude over there, he be killing stuff during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to have to go do this episode again because the first one was kind of trash. That's not my fault, but we're gonna make it right. I'm going to be accountable. That's my show, right?
Go back and watch the other one, though.
Please. Yeah, I mean, go back, but this is going to be better, I promise. But Matt was like revitalizing the space. People were stuck in the house, and you were doing these online cooking classes every week.
Right.
And I became, I tell people all the time, I'm a master chef now. I think I'm pretty damn good.
This stuff
What-
looks good.
It tastes good too, bro.
Okay. That's how people do me. Like, it looks good, but it tastes
No, it tastes good
backhanded
too.
shit.
It tastes good too. But tell people how you kind of got into that space. What made you go from, because you already was doing well in your career anyway.
Right.
Right. And then you decided to jump into this. You're not like a classically trained chef.
Right.
But I mean, I know the shit good because I make it and I go off the recipe and it's hitting. So
I
and then
mean,
you got
so-
Moody with you, and Moody's been day one.
He makes me look good. So
Yeah,
shout out
facts, so-
Moody's the cameraman. He does a little bit of everything for me. He's working the
Facts.
camera.
He be cooking too.
Business partner. He does a little bit of everything. But so yeah, I was working in corporate America. I won't say the company, but a relatively big bank, Fortune 500 company. And I was doing that, and then the pandemic hit. I always cooked, so I've been cooking since I was probably 18, 19 years old when I first moved out and got the apartment. And I'm not big on, this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm not, if it wasn't for what I'm doing business-wise, I wouldn't be a social media person because I wasn't posting a lot of stuff on social media. But friends would come over. We would always have the house that people would hang out at. People were like, you should post this on Instagram. So I started doing that, and it kind of started to get traction and take off. And then I was like, well, now I'm like, okay, I saw the business side of it. It's like, well, I like to do this, and I also understand
Business
how to
stuff, yeah.
monetize things. So let me kind of marry the two together. And the pandemic hit, and like right at the same, so we started our YouTube channel January before the pandemic. So I think part of this is kind of getting lucky too. Like you got to have talent, you got to have work ethic, you got to have all of that stuff. But luck plays a key too. So we started it at the best time, in my opinion, to do some food related stuff because everybody's at home, everybody's got to cook. So we started it at that point, and then we had immediate success. Like the YouTube channel kind of caught traction. Everything was doing well on social media. So I just rode the wave and kind of took a lot of the stuff that I learned from corporate America and applied it to what I'm doing now, and it's paying off.
All-purpose seasoning is a must.
Yep,
The
definitely.
hot, the lemon bay. You just dropped the all-purpose flour.
Yep, seasoned flour just dropped on Friday. It's probably gonna be sold out by the time you put this up.
Yeah, for sure. No, it will be.
It's almost sold out now. So, but I mean, part of that is like inventory, right? So I think sometimes people will order just a small amount of stuff and then they like to say that they're sold out.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. That's a marketing tactic.
Yeah, for sure. The scarcity model. But yeah, I mean, really it's more about like just making sure that the packaging is right. I didn't want to order 10,000 units and then send it out and the flour's bust in the bag before it gets to you. So just quality control basically. But
So Matt, you have said several times on YouTube that you're self-taught. So what does that mean? So you say you've been cooking since you're 18. Like, how did you actually become a self-taught person that learned how to cook that way?
So I mean, really, I got like an obsessive personality. So when I get into something, I immerse myself in it until I figure it out. So I started cooking so I moved out real early. So I moved out before I turned 18, had an apartment when I turned 18. And then you kind of got to cook to feed yourself. I had a situation where my roommate had to get the boot. So I was living in the apartment by myself. I had budgeted for 2 people. It was only me. So obviously you got to cook at home. So that kind of got me into cooking.
Dope.
And we were throwing parties and like promoting parties when I was younger. So people would come to my house before we would go out. And I would always cook something and people would compliment you. So once you start getting the compliments, you're like, oh, maybe I'm good at this. And you kind of like double down on it and keep, seeing how far you can take it. And again, I'm obsessed with stuff. So like when I get into something and I feel like I'm good at it, I'm going to keep seeing how far I can take it. So that's kind of the origin story.
I had a question too. You said a minute ago that you learned a lot of things that you applied to what you're doing now and that helped you with your success. What were some of those things those traits or whatever you want to call it that you took from whatever you were doing before and brought it over to help you be successful in this area?
Man, everything. So I didn't go to college, but the company I worked for was college for me. So I was backtrack all the way back to the apartment situation. I was working. I had to get a second job. I was a manager at Finish Line, which started my shoe addiction. We talk about that later too. But I went and got a second job. So I had 2 full-time jobs once my roommate got removed from the apartment. And at that time, there was a person that was working with me. I was a supervisor at like BJ's Wholesale Club, like a Costco basically. And she had just got fired from this bank that I worked at. But she was like, you're good with people. You could talk to people. You should apply for this job. I was like, they're not gonna hire me. I don't have a college degree. I don't have anything that I thought would help me get that job at what I thought was like a prestigious bank. I didn't know what was going on. Anyway, I applied, got the job, and started it from there. But everything, like they taught me, I didn't know anything going into the job. They taught me everything about business, like marketing, just how to set things up, I started in sales. So obviously sales is a huge thing that I have going on now with all the products and things like that. So literally everything that I know, I learned from that job. I worked there for 10 and a half years.
Well, with that being said, your marketing background, were there any gaps in actually applying it in an actual business?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of it's trial and error. So like everything that you do business wise, you kind of got to test it and see how it plays out. I think having the right, like not being in a rush. I think a lot of people right now I'm experiencing or seeing a lot of people in my field, a lot of people that are cooking on the internet. They see people like me that have a product, so they're in a rush to get a product out. And if the quality of the product's not good, it's going to damage your brand. And people, I'll never buy nothing from you again if the thing that I buy from you is not a good quality product. So like not being in a rush, I think is important, and just being willing to invest in yourself. A lot of people are quick to try to make some money, but they don't want to put any money into the business first.
Big facts.
And that's how I started it. Like when we started, I was paying Moody out of my pocket. We was making $0 profit. I was just paying him, out of my pocket. Everything that we did, I funded it myself from the job that I had. And a lot of people are kind of reluctant to do that, I feel like.
How did that link up?
Instagram. So we had a mutual friend. He hit me up about doing some video. I think I might have posted something about looking for a videographer. He responded. And I saw that he knew somebody I know. I'm big on that. Like I like to work with people that I know, or at least somebody can vouch for you before I kind of bring you into my immediate circle. And it just worked out. Like he fits right in. He's like a brother now. So
Can you give us like maybe a quick rundown of the process it takes to drop these products? Because it isn't like you're just dropping like a T-shirt. You're actually doing something that people are going to be putting in their body. So
yeah.
Can you give us a rundown?
Sure. So with the seasoning, you gotta. So there's a number of ways you can do it. In my opinion, the safest way, or the way that kind of takes a lot of the pressure off of you, is to find what's called a co-packer. So a company that's been in business for a long period of time that already does this for a living. Mine, distributes seasonings and dry goods all across the country to all of the Costco's, all of the biggest places that you currently buy stuff from. So they're reputable. It's not like you're at home in your own kitchen measuring it out, which in some states you're allowed to do, but I think that has a lot of liability to it. So the way it works is I tell them the ingredients that I want to use in the seasoning. They send it to me, like their own ingredients, so that it's the same stuff that we're going to be talking about or using. I measure it out, make the recipe, send it back to them. They make the seasoning, send it to me to test. I give it the green light or tell them to adjust this or that, and then it goes to market.
You did a great job of also, when I was doing the cooking classes, it was always salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder.
Yeah.
And then that was the first all-purpose.
Yeah.
And it's like if you were already vested in the class, and some of those classes we'd be on, it'd be a couple hundred people on them joints.
Yeah.
So you already had oh, that's the base right there.
Right.
$8 a pop, $9 a pop. I did the math. I'm like, oh, he running it up.
Yeah.
And it's I have like 10 of them at my house. You playing me with these big holes in there.
That's part of the business model too.
I know that shit go fast. I'm like, damn,
and it's low sodium, so you can go heavy and not mess the food up.
Genius, bro. I be at the house like, Master genius.
I never would have thought of nothing like that.
You had the Dow Strong partnership, but then your knife is better than the ones I bought from them.
Yeah, and
it was cheaper.
they were supposed to do my knife. So I got a couple stories like that where I was in a negotiation with Dow Strong is a big knife company. I'm not trying to shit on Dow Strong, but it is what it is. I sold a lot of stuff for them. I was like a brand ambassador for them for a couple years, and we were in negotiations for them to do my knife. And then at the last minute, they were like, "Nah." They made up some excuse as to why they couldn't do it. So I was like, "All right, well." I went and sourced out my own knife, found a company that makes them that I could the thing about it is finding somebody that you can work with and make the changes that you want to make instead of them just giving you something they already created
and just throwing your brand on
right. And a lot of people do that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not really yours, it's theirs, and you're just slapping your logo on it. So having something that you can customize and actually make yours, I think is important, because personally I feel like I know food, I know flavors, so the seasoning's gonna be good. I know what a good knife is, so the knife's gonna be good. But if I'm trusting some manufacturer to just make thousands of things in bulk, that's not really you designing a product.
Facts.
Yeah.
What were some of the specifications that you wanted your knife to be?
Weight, balance is important. Weight, the type of blade, everything down to the design, making it look dope, I think is important. The packaging, making it look like it's a high quality. If you're gonna charge $100 for something, it needs to fit the bill. You can't just throw it out there in a little plastic sleeve.
Agreed.
So just literally everything from the packaging to the actual specifications of the knife, the balance, the weight, the type of blade. I don't want to get too...
Well, your love for high-end goods attributes to that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But the same thing that I'm a consumer too, right?
Yeah.
So the things that I feel like you kind of want to put that into your product as well.
Yep.
So...
Right. Are you guys open to representation of any sort? Any partnerships? Or are y'all just running independent right now?
You mean management?
Yeah.
So I actually started a management company
good job.
recently, probably in the last few months. So I feel like what we're doing right now, whatever you want to call it, whether it's influencer or creator, whatever, I don't like any of the names, but I guess it is what it is. There's a gap from the representation side. I think a lot of these there's a lot of middlemen companies that are overseas, or people that don't really know what's going on. They're kind of just leeching off the fact that this stuff is making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they come in and say, all right, well, Coca-Cola wants to pay you $10,000, but really the budget might be 15, and they're pocketing 5, and they're offering you 10.
Yep.
And I started to notice that happening a lot. So I reached out to some people that I used to work with in corporate America. Hey, this is my idea. This is the need. This is the need that I think that is in the marketplace. And they came on board, and we started to represent a few other people that are doing what I'm doing.
We gonna shout them out.
That's what's up.
Sure. I mean, I don't know if it's public information as of yet. So I'll
Okay.
Keep it.
Okay. That's why you said it. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I ain't gonna drop it, but
That's what's up.
No,
Yeah,
'cause
they're big names. Though.
big names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all just did a live event.
Yep.
How was that?
Great. So we did an event in New York at Julan. Shout out to Julan for having us.
Oh, let me drop a bomb for you, bro.
We're actually doing another event in New York the day before Mother's Day. We're doing a brunch. So this is the first time we're announcing that.
brunch.
Good stuff.
Mother's
I might have to
Day
get a
brunch.
ticket for that, bro.
Please do.
Yeah, I might have to slide.
Please do. But it was more of a meet and greet at Julan. It was nice to like get in front of everybody and have time to kind of talk to the people that make all of this possible. It's still mind blowing to me that so many people want to take pictures and like talk to you about stuff. Like I'm still not used to that, but it's a dope experience to be able to sit down and get to know the people that support you and make things happen for yourself.
When you're looking to stand next to certain talents, like you said, are you mindful of what talents you take on, or you want to diversify your cooks per se?
So yeah, I think it starts with everything with me is about who I like and who I want to be around and work with. I start there because otherwise it starts to feel like a chore, and I kind of set my life up in a way, or I'm trying to, so that I don't have to do anything I don't want to do.
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, so it starts with like just us being able to click, and not necessarily just me liking you, but you liking me, right? And us being able to gel and work well together. And then, some of the folks that I'm working with right now, they live pretty close in proximity, so it just makes sense for us to be able to do things together. And just I want to be able to add value. Like if I see, really what it started with is I was in like this group chat with a bunch of other chefs, probably like 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and I would have conversations with them, and they got bigger followings than me, but they live at home with their parents, so they're not making any money. And I know what I'm making. And I'm like, y'all should be making way more money than what I'm making. So part of what I get enjoyment or fulfillment from is helping people reach,
that potential.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's enough for us to all get money and all have success. There's 8 billion people in the world. Everybody got to eat 3 times a day. Me showing you how to make a couple dollars is not going to take any food out of my life.
For sure.
So that's the way I look at it. And honestly, like I'm at a point in my life where I get the most fulfillment out of doing stuff for others or helping other people. Like I've done whatever I wanted to do for myself. I've been doing it, and over time you start to lose the enjoyment of just buying clothes or
Me and you had that
going on a
conversation.
trip or
Yep.
doing whatever. It starts to become like, all right, well, what can I do to give back, or what can I do to help other people?
You taste testing?
Huh?
You taste testing?
Yeah, for sure.
All of it? Everybody that you
Their food?
yeah, right.
Yeah,
you have to.
Got to.
Have y'all ever had anybody y'all like it look good and you try to give it a little taste test and it's not
There,
up to snuff?
there's definitely been people that I've cooked with where I was unimpressed with their food.
Now has it
We're not
been
gonna be messy and say no names.
No, I'm not gonna say no names, but has there been
No,
instances?
you know me, I be ready to get messy.
But has there been instances where you've tasted the food and you can taste the potential and maybe they're just a slight tick off, maybe where you can help them out?
So I don't want to sit here and act like Gordon Ramsay, like I'm the best chef in the world, but I take it very seriously. Whereas there's a lot of folks that, they got an iPhone and a ring light and they recorded something they cooked and it went viral, and now they got this platform. Or some of it doesn't even really look good. It just was an easy recipe or a unique spin, or maybe they did a good voiceover. It was funny. Like it could be a number of things that make your content do well. But I feel like if you're going to be somebody that's cooking, you should care about the end product too. Like I can read somebody's recipe and tell whether or not they just made that shit up or if it's something they actually tested. So yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person, I want to cook it a few times before I put it out and let everybody try it, because I feel like I only got one shot. Like you try my recipe and it's trash, you're not going to come back to me to learn the next one.
I was just telling a friend of mine the story 2 years ago when I had you come cook on the YouTube channel. So I'm telling Matt, I'm like, yo, we should cook this. We should cook this. This is healthy. Matt was like, I've never cooked that, and I don't think that's going to taste good. I was like, bro, it's supposed to be healthy. He's like, nah, I'm not putting nothing out. This is 800,000 subscribers ago, and he still was like, nah, like quality control. He's like, yo, I'm not putting it out if it don't taste good. I was like, fair enough. He's like, so I don't really know how to cook something that's supposed to be necessarily healthy.
I was like, no butter. He's like, no butter.
bro, he pushed back. He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not putting that out. So I was like, bro, just do your thing then. So you've always had that integrity about your stuff from day one, bro. So shout you out.
Where I'm sorry, bro.
No, you got it.
Where did Mr. Make It Happen come from? Where did the name come from?
Nothing related to food. So, long story short, there's a friend of mine that was having a bachelor party. His best man, as the best man, he's supposed to set everything up and make everything happen. I'm just a bystander at the. I mean, we're friends, but I'm not the best man. I'm just there. I know the guy that is the best man, and we give each other a hard time. He basically dropped the ball on the entire weekend. Like the hotel situation fell through. It went to shit, and I came in and I called this hotel and like got a room block and like kind of put everything together. And then for the rest of the time there, I was like, when you address me as Mr. Make Shit Happen. So I was just messing with him the whole weekend, and then I to the point where I changed my Twitter name to Mr. Make It Happen, and I just kept it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said at the beginning, Moody make you look good.
Yes.
And I sit and talk with Moody all the time. I come to your office sometimes and chill, and we talk about videography and his editing skills. And as y'all have progressed, the level up is visible, right? Moody, you being real quiet. Tell us about how you making it look good, man. You make it happen too.
Yeah, I mean, just going before this, I had no prior experience of filming food. Like I was doing a lot of freelance, and I wanted one client. I was tired of working with this person, dealing with this, waiting on this money up and down. So it was just learning him and learning his skill. And then I was doing research. Daniel Skiffer.
Okay.
He's like the GOAT when it comes to food content.
Okay.
And I was just seeing what he did. Matt was sending me YouTube channels like, hey, look at this channel and see how the video flow and stuff like that. So just working at it. And I mean, you see how he is, so he want me the same way. Like, as I get better, you should be getting better as well. So it's
now y'all got a team. They not here. Shout out to Rhino and Jamel. But y'all all, I see Jamel with the camera. I see him cooking up reels. I see, everybody's trying to work, and you kind of teaching them the tutelage on how to get the imagery right.
Yeah.
That's the key, man. Having a team is the biggest asset. Like
facts.
To scale and to be where I want to be down the road, there's no way I could do it by myself. So that's shout out to everybody that's a part of what we got going on.
I'm gonna drop a bomb for them too.
Yeah. So what's next for the media company? Like what does 2023, 2024 look like for you guys?
So we just closed on a new warehouse. We got the first one in October, and we outgrew it by February, March. So way faster than the 3-year lease that I signed. It's like almost 7,000 square feet, so it's a big space.
Good shit, bro.
We got multiple offices. We're gonna put a podcast room in the back, media room. Most importantly, we have the warehouse space now to support all the products that we want to launch. I'm in the process of working on cookware. We just dropped a seasoned flour this past Friday. I'm doing products for the clients that we have from the management side, so I'm putting out their seasoning. I'm showing them, how to get a seasoning off the ground, leveraging my relationship with the people that do my seasoning, and then just helping them understand how to everybody's not business not that they're not business savvy, but everybody didn't spend 10 and a half, 11 years on the floor in corporate America doing this for a living. Some people had another job that didn't involve marketing and sales. So it's not necessarily that they're ignorant to it, but it's just that wasn't in their wheelhouse. So I'm just taking the things that I've learned and helping them, grow their business as well. So we need a lot of space to do that because we got some folks that are selling a whole lot of products. So
hell yeah,
I seen.
Yeah,
like
18-wheeler truckloads.
Yeah, y'all going crazy in there, bro. What is for the foodies for the people that are not aware?
So it's basically the idea, the concept is starting a new food network. I feel like cable television is kind of dying off. I think the future of media and content in general is going to be more a la carte, where I want to subscribe to this, I want to subscribe to that. I'm going to have my streaming service, I'm going to have my food show, I'm going to have my podcast, whatever the case may be, versus today where it's like Food Network, no offense to them. They got the same talent on there for the last 20 years. It's mostly boring. I think that people aren't really watching it as much. And the things that make me think that are everything's gimmicky, right? All of the cooking shows are, what can you do in 5 minutes with liquid nitrogen and your left hand tied behind your back? Once you get to that point, it's like we're running out of stuff to do, and nobody's watching. So I think, but on the flip side, you turn on Instagram and you look at YouTube, there's food content that's got 5 million, 10 million views. So that tells me people still want this information. They still care about this entertainment value. They just don't want to watch that shit anymore. So my idea is to like basically make a new network. It sounds like a lofty goal, but I want to be able to take what's happening in the creator space on social media and YouTube and build a network out to where people can still, get the same thing that they want, but maybe in a longer form or longer format and like more in depth to get to know the people a little bit better and stuff like that. So that's the concept. And there's a lot more to it, but I don't want to talk about it before it.
Yeah, no doubt. I just want to,
happen.
for your people that came to the last video, so I want to give them all the information I can that you'll divulge today.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell your 820K club?
Thank you.
And if you on my video, thank you too.
Right.
Hit subscribe. Make sure you do what my baby says.
Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Hit the bell.
Don't start. Come on, let's get to this.
Oh yeah.
So since we were talking about working in corporate America, let's get to this one, right? 9-to-5 man with 40K versus the street dude with 250K. Like street money and cash, you know what I mean?
It's a good question.
I'm gonna put the picture from Instagram on the screen for y'all so y'all will see it. I want to read some of these comments. Where the comments at?
Y'all faces are hilarious.
Whose faces?
All of them out in the
over there. They mad because they can't cook.
The women.
I'm joking.
You gotta let the women answer this one first.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, let me ask y'all. Yeah. I got asked, working man with 401k and 40K in the bank, or a street ninja with 250K of street money. And this is what the post says. Me personally, them working men be born. I don't know what ASL means because I'm old.
What does ASL mean?
I don't know.
ASL?
That's what
Okay.
Wow. That's bad.
That is terrible.
I'm old. I'm sorry.
ASL used to be age 7.
I was like, ASL.
Right. It doesn't even.
Right.
Yeah, that's a terrible one, man. Not. Okay, hold on. Let me finish. Okay, so she said, me personally, them working men be boring as hell. Now that I know what that means. 9 out of 10 want to go 50-50 on the bills, et cetera, et cetera. And what the hell is 40K? The street ninja. Oh, she said, street ninja me, please. You only live once, and I'm trying to live with mad ease on there. Y'all will see it. Please, I'm going to help that man invest and flip that 250K. Ladies, react.
Wait, before they go, he has 40K in the bank or he makes 40K a year?
No, he has 401K and 40K in the bank. That's he's doing well, right?
Yeah,
It's pretty strong.
That's strong.
Ladies?
Lydia first.
I'll let you go.
I think
I
these
don't
would
like
be
how you
two
said that.
different
What are you
opinions.
expecting? Okay, listen. The street nigga sounds real fun.
Oh my!
Like that sounds. Oh, shut up, y'all. That sounds super exciting.
What's fun about
y'all
the street?
Do some crazy shit. You may or may not go to jail. Like that's exciting, but also very bad. So responsible me would take the responsible guy.
Okay,
You
Lydia.
gotta think about what's gonna happen after this summer of
There's a lot to unpack on this.
recklessness.
I have a question though. Like,
I do
Hold
like
on. Let
recklessness.
Zayna answer.
wait, before Zayna, I want to ask the
This
women.
single Zayna, not you got
Right,
a
right.
man. You tried to
She
play
not
him earlier.
single.
I want to
though.
ask. I want to ask.
I'm saying hypothetical, man.
But wait. I want to ask because before she answers this question, like, so like when you meet a street dude, like, does he like come off and say that's his profession, or do you fall
you
in love
just-
with him first and
No,
then you
just
find out?
know.
Oh, I didn't
You just
No,
know?
when you
That's what I'm
see
saying. I don't
him.
know. How does
How
it
you
work?
know?
I got a trained eye.
The food
I
don't be
know
at
the
work.
street
I
nigga.
know.
He ain't got a job.
Like,
Fuck that.
Go
like
ahead,
most
Zayna.
niggas
Come on,
who in the
Zayna.
street, they just say they get it. I thought that's the profession, and you just kind of roll with it.
I mean,
Who
wait.
you picking, Zay? Don't look at him. Don't look over there. Don't look over there.
If you are single and you don't have a man,
Number 9.
He's not here.
Be careful.
I mean, from.
tell us, bro. She not gonna tell us, man. What you think?
What am I picking?
You love him.
I mean, with the 40K, do we do spontaneous stuff? That's a question. Like, do we?
He got to call out first.
You got a couple plays. You know what I'm saying? Got a couple plays.
So we hear it depends.
Got some PTO at least.
Nah, you got to be spontaneous and call out, babe. I called out for the day. I ain't take PTO. I called out.
I think the enticing aspect of the street guy is like how spontaneous. Like you never know what Tuesday's gonna.
Yeah, you
hold.
might
Like,
get shot out. You might get shot at
He
the
might,
mall.
yeah. Like, hey, pass me the Glock. Okay, here you go. Wait,
You not gonna do that.
like it's just that enticing aspect. But I think as I've gotten older, yeah.
Who you pick?
I'm definitely going with the 40K.
Oh, they both
Okay.
trying to get this shit.
I like to.
the real thing is-
we taking an answer.
But you know what though? But
Is there an option for both?
No. But I feel like when I talk to women, I always say like by the time, especially like getting into your 30s, like you deal with women who kind of have experienced all of them. So it's like a part of me feels like a woman's gonna go through a phase with a guy who has money. They're gonna go through a street dude phase. They're gonna go through a nerdy dude phase. Women, y'all date all over the spectrum. So by the time we get to 30, y'all have already had that experience. I think the question would be better for someone young who hasn't had that experience, because then they're gonna say, hey, I would rather go with a street dude or someone. But most of you guys already had it. You got it out your system, and y'all move on. So it feels like
For our show that
Let me ask
they're
him,
young,
Willie,
bro.
Willie. Hold on.
You just don't want to be caught outside.
Hold on. How many of y'all dated a drug dealer?
Thank you.
Wait,
Thank
wait,
you.
So both of
dated?
y'all?
Or, wait, dated? Define. No, define. Like we was together or like
Like a date.
we was like.
Can you really be with
kicking
a
it?
I was gonna say because with a street guy, I can have multiple.
That.
You gotta talk into the mic.
Like, with a street guy, I can have multiple. So I can have the ones that be like, come on, get your spend the night bag. Then I got the one that take me out to eat.
Right.
Then I got the ones that take me to the party.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then I got the ones when I want to smoke. That's the one that I go out and go sit with him in the driveway. You know,
The guy that you smoke with
Stay
is a
strong,
street guy
brother. Stay
too.
strong.
Yeah,
Stay
like
strong.
why would you smoke? Who are you smoking with? Who's your plug?
Yeah, see, that
Like-
makes sense.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask y'all another question on
makes
top of that. V, we know you haven't dated a drug dealer, right?
She hasn't done anything.
Y'all not gonna do V like that.
He was like, no, I have never done nothing.
V, have you?
Y'all not gonna do V
You
like
didn't
that.
say no.
That's the irony.
You see, you have to respond.
She
to
didn't
that's
say
what I'm
no.
saying. Go for it, V.
Come on, V.
Come on.
You got it.
Good cop out. The comments, they say, I'm not trying to live dodging the police sirens all life. She can't help working to flip that 40K. If you're gonna choose a street dude, make sure you put life insurance on him and invest the money well. Dang, she's smart.
Sounds like a Snap episode.
Dang, yeah.
Sounds
I'll
smart.
take the working man any day. I don't want the cops chasing me. 401K with 40K. It's a lot of people saying 9 to 5 me, please. But wait. Is the 250K already clean? That makes a big difference. Did it
A lot of
block it?
power watching
Yeah.
going on.
Probably not. So
Call Marty.
that's part of what you got to unpack, because 250, a lot. Like how much of that is the re-up money? Like
Yes.
you might have 250, but you got
The women don't understand.
spend
They still gotta put that
225 to
out.
get you.
We're gonna say that's his. He ain't doing nothing with it. That's his.
profit.
But
That's
honestly,
his. That's his.
a real street
He's-
dude is not going to tell you what he got going on with
That's
his
what
money.
I'm trying to say.
Because he
I'm
probably
So I
don't
don't
even
need to
know.
know all that.
Thank
Like
you.
that's too many questions. I don't want to know because
Why?
if I don't know, I don't have to lie.
No. I hate that. No,
If
I
I
hate
don't
that.
know-
I hate that response.
If
'cause
I
the
don't know, I don't
The
have to
regular
lie.
guy gets all the questions, but the guy that you're risking your life with doesn't get more
Let me
questions.
clap for Chris for that.
No.
The regular guy got a big Great job, Chris.
As long
No, let me
as
tell
he's
you why.
giving me his money,
Let
I'm
me
not gonna
tell you
ask anything.
why.
I'm asking everything.
it's
When's the drop?
because-
When do you gotta work? All those questions.
It's because the responsible guy, you're thinking long term, so of course you need to know those things.
That's a
When you're
fair
dating a street nigga, it's
What?
I don't. What's happening tomorrow? As long as we don't get locked up
It's
tomorrow,
crazy.
I'm okay.
agree with them.
I don't
I'm, like, fully
care.
aligned.
Why?
I don't care what you're doing. I
She's
don't
here
care
for a
because I
good
will be
time, not a long
out.
time.
I'm here for a little
Okay,
while.
hold on. Drug dealers. Listen to what these women are saying.
They
They're
know.
not asking questions.
They're
They
not
don't
I don't
care
know if they're
about your
watching our
life.
podcast.
They
They're
don't care
not
about your
stupid.
life.
I don't know if
But
they're
wait,
How
watching.
y'all know that?
But Chris, wait. If I'm out in
I
the
know
streets,
some-
do I want to be in a relationship? I don't even want to be tied to no Jane. You know,
Exactly.
I'm moving.
Yeah.
So like their
We both
energy
know.
is matching my energy.
It's
if I'm
fast
in
and
that
loose,
space.
fast and
I'm not
loose.
trying to be in a relationship
But you
and
know,
be a drug
They
dealer
need
at the
somebody
same
to
time.
co-sign for the
what
car
makes
and
it
the
funny.
house.
Right.
But what
They
makes
do
it
need somebody to
but
put
Willie-
stuff on paper.
But
with.
Willie,
Okay.
let's
That's
hold
a
on to
relationship.
They
that.
need to find a girl with good
Oh, you need
credit.
a pawn.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, Willie, let's hold on to
Somebody's got
that.
to co-sign.
The
Yes.
next time they talking about all their heartbreak and stuff like that, you premeditated your own heartbreak. So why are you so hurt now when
Don't
you were
fall
just
in
with the
love with
guy?
the
You
street
just
nigga.
knew it wasn't gonna work out. I was just there for the fun. Now y'all are heartbreaking on the back end. The good dudes gotta pay for the drug dealer dating
No,
on the back
the
end.
good dude does have
They
to
gotta pay
that.
for it.
Yes, he does.
But see how y'all
does.
are talking about the heartbreak and how it was fine. It's cushioned now, but when we're having the conversations, y'all are so heartbroken.
Heartbroken about the street nigga?
No, see, y'all got it twisted.
Y'all be heartbroken
Women,
and
we
talking
have
about
to-
how men treated y'all, but look at how
Yep.
y'all are
And
talking
we
right
have
now.
to
agreement that we
talk about the girl who broke his heart in 5th grade. Like, what are you talking about?
Why you shoot at me though?
I'm just saying, like, y'all y'all do the same. Y'all do the same thing, but on a different capacity. And then you're overshoot. Like you overshot it. Like we're literally telling you. Being with the
Chris
street
did
dude,
it. Why you shoot at me?
Because you're right here.
Okay.
Because when the topics change, their energy changes.
Okay.
No, like
Okay,
we're
okay.
telling you, the street dude is surface, and then here you go going all deep. No, it's up here. It's up here.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep that same energy, man. What do y'all think? Moody, you quiet, bro. Come on, man. I know you got some thoughts on this.
I don't know. It's just like
Moody
I
the
feel
one
like-
selling drugs. He
That's why he's quiet.
sit this
That's
one
why
out.
he's quiet.
I
I
am
got you.
him.
It's like we see street dudes like on TV and stuff in these movies and stuff. It's not really realistic,
Yeah.
especially in this area.
Yeah.
Like you probably got 2 or 3 guys that's like really
Like that.
getting it, but you're really not.
And they
you
didn't-
got a
they
lot
don't-
of drug dealers.
They make that 10,000 look like
selling weed. You got people that work a 9 to 5 and sell weed. So it's
And
like
they didn't date
what
him.
kind of drug dealer? Yeah.
Oh, no, they definitely
So
didn't.
Moody saying you weren't dealing with ghosts. You were dealing with the right.
Neither of them dated the guy you're talking about.
No one's.
None of them was dealing with those.
Oh, wait, this nigga say y'all not dealing with the nigga in
Right.
the suit.
There's
That's
only
only
one of them.
5
Yeah,
clubs.
yeah.
But the thing she said,
Y'all
like,
dated
they-
layer 5. Y'all didn't date.
Okay, don't do that.
Like, but that's the
Don't
first
do
thing they
that.
say. They be like, the 9 to 5 guy is not fun, and they want to go out on trips. It's like you have a 9 to 5 too, so it's like if I'm at work, you're at work.
Yeah.
Like
Street
what
guys
do you
want to
bring?
tell her
They're
take the day off.
miserable.
I'ma pay you
They're
to take the day off.
They're miserable.
Women
They're
are
9 to 5.
irresponsible. If we meet the street nigga,
I mean,
he say
it's
you want to go to
fun 9
Bora
to 5
Bora, fuck
workers
that
too, though.
job. Like, fuck that job.
Well,
Women are like, I don't
wait
give a fuck.
minute.
Let's go.
Wait a minute. No, it's not. It's not. Fuck my job.
Well, you were in the
I'm-
military.
yeah,
Just in case.
Like we can catch up on 96, baby, but not this Monday.
Yeah.
I need my job.
Trying to figure out where to go after that one. No, because I don't know. I'm gonna scroll some of those comments on the screen for y'all to read too.
Chris, did you say we dated a level 5?
Yeah,
rapper?
Y'all
y'all
weren't
did.
dating.
So
Y'all
how
weren't
you
dating.
not shaming?
No, but I agree with Chris though, because think about it. Like most of the women, and Moody kind of called it out. They find a nigga that's in the street that has $250,000 on cash. You gotta be dealing with somebody who's doing actually real work.
Yes.
And he's saying like in this area, there's not a lot of people with 250 liquid doing that kind of work. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That's facts.
In this area.
And those guys usually be, you know what I'm saying, they're selective ones that they knocking down too.
And they not
got more
going
to
out.
lose.
Yes.
And the number one sign of that is they not going out and blowing hella bags on y'all.
Bro, they don't know.
Okay.
I respect
Y'all love doing that. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine.
There's a lot of tension in here.
Yeah, I like it, Chris.
She mad as hell. Are you okay?
That's from the text message thread last night.
Oh yeah, it was.
She tight.
I'm perfectly shot at Chris. I was like, don't shoot at Chris.
I'm like, what?
Women always want to shame you, bro.
What?
Tizzy.
I did not shame
No, hold on,
Chris.
hold on,
I
hold
just
on,
said
no.
he was in a tizzy. It's okay.
See, people throw shots first, and then when you throw them back, they
It
want to
wasn't
say, "Ask
even
her,
a
you
shot.
okay?"
I picked a word that I like, and you didn't like it.
Tizzy's disrespectful.
It's
Tizzy.
disrespectful.
It's
You know
hella.
what?
She knew
That was a
condescending.
comeback. That was a
It
great
was a comeback.
Exactly.
'cause I did
So
call
when
him
she
Chris
hit
Featherston
soft
and
and I
Frosty
hit
Stone.
harder, it's the problem.
Anyway,
Huh?
We're
No,
not the-
I'm fine.
we're not the
Everything's
same.
since
cool.
we're
I was
talking about
laughing.
money is debt. I got a clip for y'all.
That's a good one.
Let's hear it. Yeah, I'm trying to produce a high quality show. See, man, I be trying, man, but
You're doing a good job, man.
there's some unprofessionals in here.
Why is debt tax free?
I don't know.
Because that's how money is created.
Like I said, money doesn't make you rich, it makes you poor. That's why the wealthy don't have money. They have debt and they have assets, and they use their debt to buy more assets, then they leverage those assets to borrow more money, then they use that money to buy more assets. Lending is largely how money is circulated into the economy. The more debt there is, the more money there is, and therefore the more inflation there is, which raises the value of their assets relative to the now devalued money supply at the expense of regular people who have been convinced that saving money will make you rich. It won't. It's also how the wealthy get away with not paying their taxes. If you own a company or a corporation, you could pay yourself a fat salary and buy more assets with your own money, but then you'd have to pay a fair amount of income tax to reimburse the system that created the growth, that created your wealth in the first place. So you'd be much better off just getting
I'll put
a
the rest
big
of this
fat
clip in the
loan.
link below. Make sure you look down there when you hit that
Will's
like
cooking.
button. Make sure you hit that like button. I'm not playing with y'all no more.
It's aggressive.
No, man. They you know, the like, it really circulates us in the algorithm. I need you to hit the like button. But I'm gonna put the rest of the clip in there so you guys can get that information. Matt, let's talk about it.
So first thing that stands out to me is I'm not trusting his judgment because he needs to cut that shit off his head. The fact that he thinks that hairdo is okay is letting me know that there's a problem in his no, but I mean, it's a lot to. It depends on where you're at, right? So
yeah, financially, yeah.
Right. So and your understanding of it, like all of that information is cool if you understand how to apply it.
Yeah.
Like just like when you see these videos on Instagram about people telling you, oh, you can buy a Wraith and you can write it off on your taxes. Like, yeah, but there's a lot of other shit that you need to know before you go spend all your money on a Range Rover and then get audited and you don't know what you're doing.
Correct.
So like it just depends on how much of that you understand and how much of that you want to actually apply. Do you have the business set up in a way that you can apply it? Are you a LLC? Are you a S Corp? Are you incorporated? There's so many things that go into making sense of what he just said that the average person who doesn't own a business is not going to really understand.
Facts.
So it's not really applicable. But yeah, so what's the original question? That money is debt?
Well, that's the name of the clip.
Yeah.
He basically was insinuating if if all you're doing is holding money, then you're not rich at all. I think the short story of this is to make your money work. But I also wanted to ask you, since we're talking money, I've been struggling with the concept of scaling a business. Can you give me a better grasp of what it means to scale a business?
Yeah, so to take it from where it is today and make it make it scalable in a way that you can reach the masses or make it run more efficiently. So for example, me and Moody started selling seasonings. I gutted my man cave, put all the seasoning in the back of the man cave, and we're packaging it ourselves at the kitchen table and shipping it out.
You ought to plug.
Is that the best use of my time? No.
They wouldn't even respect that kind of grind because it ain't keys.
Yeah.
It ain't the work.
Right.
It is the work.
It is the work.
It is the work.
Scalability is, all right, now I have a warehouse, I have 6 employees, I have people that are now doing that for me, and I can use my time to go out and do other things to grow the business.
Correct.
So that's like a real world example. Just doing things and setting yourself up for being able to make other moves that don't involve you having to be there all the time and doing it. That's the same thing. People ask me why I don't cater. It's like, well, for me to make money catering, I have to physically be in your kitchen cooking. Right. That means I can't do the other things that are generating me money. So I have to put a premium on the price that I'm going to quote you.
That time,
and that I don't think that's a very scalable business unless you go out and hire people that are going to go do it for you. But people don't want to pay. They want to pay for you.
Yeah, they want you
the
in
person
there.
to be there. So I don't look at that as a scalable business.
Willie, money is debt. What you think?
No, I mean, I agree. I understand the concept of what he's saying. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, your ability to leverage your credit, be able to leverage money and turn it into assets is literally how the rich gets richer. So I do understand that concept. I agree with Matt saying is like at a macro level, most people are not going to know how to apply that. So it's not real actionable advice for most. But the idea is still very strong. At the end of the day, your ability to go out and borrow money and acquire assets is a premium, right? So if you get to a point where, again, a lot of these deals, a lot of like big money moves only really have access to a few because there's only a few people who can actually go get the money to get it. I'll give an example. If there was an apartment complex that was worth $15 million, but it was on sale for $5 million, and you knew you could make $10 million on a deal, how many people in this room could go get the $5 million? Sure. It's only a handful of people that can actually leverage to go get $5 million and go get that deal done. So usually as you go up, there's only a handful of people that can really make those large purchases or those large money deals. So he's right. To put yourself in that position, you're constantly trying to scale your way up to be able to leverage assets to buy more assets. But to Matt's point, to start at ground zero, most people won't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So
right.
They have a hard time saving $1,000.
And I think especially
I think it's dangerous to have those conversations with people that don't fully understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because more often than not, those people are going to fuck themselves up. Like more people are going to ruin their lives trying to apply that advice than are going to go buy a $15 million.
That's also part of the trick, though.
Yeah.
Like he said, your debt makes the money less valuable
Yeah.
and makes my asset more valuable.
Exactly.
It's all part of the trick. So be smart about it.
But I think a lot of, especially in the minority communities, especially like our older, like our parents and like our grandparents, we were kind of taught this idea of hoarding cash and having the scarcity mindset. And like I said, save, and continue to work, and then one day you can live off your pension. And I do think that's a fool's errand, right? I do think the name of the game really is asset acquisition. I just think to Matt's point, there's so much more things that need to go into that. Like even at the point, when do you start even leveraging, credit? When do you start start leveraging those things, right? And in what position do you need to be in to even hold that, right? Like, because imagine somebody hears that right now and they go buy a home. What are they going to do when that home devalues $40,000-$50,000? Or when they get in a point where they can't even rent it out or they can't afford the mortgage? Then that person, like Tamat said, that a foreclosure or a hit against your credit could literally ruin you for years.
Yeah.
Right? It could take you steps back.
Major setback.
So it's like, again, it's really about when and where, how to apply that. But I do think the idea of just having cash, especially today, I mean, right now cash is at a premium. So you probably could actually make a little bit of money actually putting money in like a high yield savings account and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I do think that what he was saying conceptually sounds good for social media. So
And then it also depends on your business. So like certain business need more cash flow than others.
Yeah.
Like for example, what I'm doing with when you have to acquire like purchase more inventory constantly, you gotta have cash flow coming in.
Yeah.
But you said something that was important, Matt, like earlier, is that most people won't use their own money to even create the revenue stream. So what happens is you do get people like, and I've met guys who like off the rip go get a small business loan or go put themselves in debt. They won't even generate the cash themselves because they don't want to invest their real money, and then they end up going backwards. I've seen a guy open up 7 retail stores off the rip with a $250K loan, and the whole thing went kaplunk.
Yeah.
Whereas instead of saying, hey, I'm going to take my own money, I'm going to work and I'm going to apply cash into this one store and wait to scale it to even get those loans. So most people won't. I agree. I think that's the thing that holds people back. Most people won't take their money from their 9 to 5 and literally willing to live, in a different state for years while they plug their own business before they even go leverage credit. That's the hard part.
I think that's the dark side of business that people don't understand is actually catching up with that demand. So how would you say? I know the answer is no, but because you're very popular, so that creates a high demand up front for your product. Would you say there's such thing as too much demand?
So yeah, but I think it's a good thing ultimately, but it can. So I'll put it this way. So we talked earlier about like selling out prematurely. I think that there's value in the scarcity model. Like if you don't get this right now, you may not be able to get it right. That creates FOMO. People want to go buy it. They feel like if I don't buy it right now, I might not be able to. It might sell out. That's a good thing, but also I think you're stalling your momentum long term because what happens in today's world, you buy my product, I ship it to you, you post it on social media, now all of them see it. They're like, oh shit, let me go buy that too. But if you don't have it available for them to buy, 2 weeks pass and they forgot all about that post that you made. So you're killing your momentum in that sense. So if you don't have the inventory or the financials to support the demand, I think it's a good, like overall, it's a good thing to have people that want to buy something from you. But if you can't meet that demand, you kind of put yourself in a spot where you can't, take full advantage of it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's good.
I want to let the ladies pick the next one.
Ladies.
I want to talk about the hall pass.
Oh shit.
Bro, you was reaching for the drink again, bro. Hall
Very
passes.
small sips we're taking here.
Hall passes. I ain't gonna lie, this is a dodgy. Now that we're on wax, it's kind of different.
What you mean?
We on wax. You gotta watch what you say when you talk about it.
You gotta watch what
You want a hall pass?
Do I want a hall pass?
Yeah. Do you want one?
I've been, like I told you, I've been presented opportunities. Like
You are Chris Patterson. My bad. You right.
And then
You want a hall?
I got it.
I don't really need a hall pass.
I've
What
been
about you?
presented opportunities sounds crazy. Let's elaborate.
Right.
So is there a
more.
clip or we just elaborate?
No clip. No clip.
So
Willie.
no, because I think there's too much like 0 to 100 on a hall pass idea. Like
I don't like
again,
the smirk you got right
I
now.
know. You gonna do her?
It's too black and white.
Your face when it comes to
No,
these
because
topics, man.
I'm gonna stay congruent. I think that again, in any relationship, we get to co-create the space that we desire
There
for
you
each
go.
other. We do. So at the end of
What is a hall pass?
Okay.
A hall pass is just. Go ahead, Chris. You got it.
A hall pass is basically your partner giving you the freedom to go have physicalities or sex with other people.
Yeah, but
didn't wanna say sex.
but think about it, right? Like at the end of the day, like if we're in a space and you're saying that, hey, that this is something that we think that can help further our space. If we said, hey, like we talked about this when Bricks and them were here. Let's say you deal with a woman who says, hey, I don't want to give oral sex anymore, or hey, I don't want to have a threesome, but I still love you and I still want to see you get what you desire. This idea of a hall pass or saying, hey, would you be okay if I was to go pursue that with someone else? I think that's fair, right? Like it's not like, do I want a hall pass? The question is there something in our space that we think that can be enhanced by allowing a different type of freedom within our construct? So this idea of a hall pass, like everybody up here that's in a relationship is going to pander and say, no, I don't want one. But at the end of the day, we all have desires. We've all been in long-term relationships where we may want to sit down and say, hey, we may want to co-create or do something different with each other. Why is that such a bad thing?
I didn't say it was
To me,
bad.
that's not a hall pass though. A hall pass, from the way I understand it, is like you got this one-time situation where you can go out and have sex outside of your relationship.
But just cause?
What you're describing sounds more like an open.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is a one-time thing, but what would create that, right? Is it just for the hell of it? Or
It's up to me. Like if you in school and you got a hall pass, like
I
it doesn't matter why I'm in the hall. I got a hall pass.
I left in school.
I got to the bathroom. I'm going to visit a teacher. Doesn't matter. Here's my hall pass.
I agree with Matt.
So Matt's logic is like, it don't give a fuck why you desire it. You gotta
gave me a hall pass. It's fine.
I feel like that's gonna be harder to get off because then they're gonna just think you're just a whoremonger and you just want to go fuck just to fuck.
You're not a monger if it's a one-off.
But a one-off just says I just
never
going to
be a one-off.
No,
Right, exactly.
When I got my hall passes, I didn't come back. So
Right,
it's
exactly.
like,
That's what I'm saying.
Moody got a hall pass and didn't go back.
in school.
I'm with you, bro. Bro, I live near the school.
Yeah,
I'm hall pass, I'm going. I'm leaving.
I'm gone. Yeah.
He said I didn't come back.
No, I agree. No, I agree.
No
with
man
Moody.
ever is getting a hall pass.
That's
now.
what I'm saying. That's why I want to take it away from what Matt is saying, because the way Matt says, that's how the women are going to be like.
That is what a hall pass is.
That's
though.
what I understand a hall pass to be.
No, but that's going to get a more emotional reaction. They're like, no, nigga, you don't get
Yeah,
one.
That's what we
no,
want.
I want the
That's what we
emotional
want.
reaction from my show.
You
bro.
talking about the lead up to the hall pass?
Yeah. Wait.
As men, do you guys feel like with the more success that you gain over time, the more entitled you are to a hall pass or a secondary partner?
I don't know if entitled is the right way.
Yeah, I don't like the way you framed that.
What
Zay.
you mean?
Set up.
I think the way Willie
Set
just
up.
eloquently put it.
Zayna trying to set that bear trap.
As you ascend, if that is something that you desire.
Ascend. But I'm saying, like, I'm asking, we talked about this.
I'm just saying, as you ascend, like Willie was saying, if that's the space you want to create, I think but that's not a hall pass. That's us creating a different dynamic in our
All
relationship.
right, fuck that.
But her
Let's-
question
nah,
is, do
fuck
you
that.
feel
Let's-
more
let's
entitled
quit.
the more success you have?
Is it
quit all
like?
the,
Is it like? Okay, because I think
I got you,
that
Zayna. I got you.
I think that I could agree to it, but it would have to be like the weirdest conversation. It would have to be like, "Hey, babe, can I go fuck somebody else, like a stranger, one time for the one time?" And I'd be like,
Why would it be a stranger?
"Cause it would have to be a stranger."
Really?
How you gonna put parameters on my
You know
hall
what?
pass?
Huh?
Okay, I think that's a
If I don't
not a hall pass.
Yeah, that's not a hall pass.
That's the only parameter I would have. Like, it has to be a stranger, and it's a one-off.
So you care more about whether or not he cares about this person and
Yes.
knows them. See, that's
Right,
the
right.
question. Like, what women is
Go
like.
hire a hooker. I don't care.
a hooker.
Not for
Maybe
the hall
not.
pass.
Yeah, not for the hall pass.
Okay, let me
My
Taking
point
all the fun out of it.
my point is, I do not care as long as you don't
Like, care about them.
care
Yeah.
about this hooker. You know.
Well, the beauty of men is we don't always have to.
Exactly.
care about
So whatever.
it. Yeah.
Take your diabetes with you.
It's
Moody
tough.
said he ain't coming back.
But I think that with the hall pass is like not to like pander to the women's side, but I feel like you're not going to close that door. Like if you give me the opportunity to do that, if you give your guy the opportunity to do that, the chances of him now saying, "All right, babe, I enjoyed
Never
it, but I'm not going to
again."
do that anymore," is not going to happen. So if you open that door, I feel like
That is a
Pandora's box
Yeah,
is
it's-
open.
it's there.
Exactly. Yep. Okay.
Don't let it be good and she rock your world. Damn.
Rock your world. How old are you, Chris? Every week he comes out with this old school. Yo,
I want to hear how y'all talk.
we don't say rock your world. I'm not
What
in
would
the
you say?
second grade.
What would you say? What would you say? What would you say?
I don't know.
What would you say?
I don't know.
She put that
Not
thing
bad.
on you.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Put
thing.
that thing on you?
Maybe that's better than
That's 2004. Move on.
I'm just saying all the
Miss
cringy shit I
Millennium,
can
though.
think of.
Thing on you. That sounds much
That
better.
was the
snapper.
next closest cringiest thing that I can think about.
Okay. We rolling through these. This one I seen on a different show. Somebody, y'all
Justin
talking.
Timberlake.
Men see themselves in younger men, and women see themselves. Yo, God, pause, man. Men,
That's,
They can hear that in the video. They can hear that.
okay. Can I? Y'all are so goofy all the time. Men see themselves in younger men. Pause. and women see themselves as younger women. So the gist of this one is basically men.
Maybe it should be men see themselves as younger
don't help
men.
him. Don't help him.
No,
Don't
it's
help
not.
him.
No. It's when I see a young guy, I can remember what it was like to be him, so I want to give him game.
Right.
Whereas when women see another young woman, right? A woman sees another young woman, she's almost like, that's my competition. I remember when I was young, I can
Right.
compete with her.
Gotcha.
So when I see myself in a younger man, pause, Jesus.
Save that clip.
I want to give him game. I want to make sure, like, hey, you don't make the mistakes I made. I want to, be mentoring with him.
Yeah, it makes sense though.
Oh, mate. This was I like this clip, and then
It's
well, it's not
good.
a clip, but
It's a good topic.
What clip did you like?
Let's not share that one. But
oh man, good
I think
one.
it's because
y'all got me. Good one.
It makes sense because as men, I don't know.
Yeah, look, you don't even know what to say now. No, you don't
because
know.
it can sound. We'll just talk honestly, I guess, right? So, as women feel as though they have a time clock, right? So, at 50, you're not the same in terms of desirability. You may not be the same as you were at 25,
For sure.
right? Yeah. But as a man, your desirability can kind of last as long as you're a certain level of success.
Correct.
So as an older man, you don't feel the competition with a younger guy because chances are you probably got more money than him, you got more status than him, you understand more about life than him, so you feel comfortable giving him a little bit of game. But as a woman, you see this younger, maybe more attractive, maybe whatever. It creates a more of a competitive spirit behind it. So I think that makes sense.
No, wait, and I kind of want to.
Don't make that face. He on the couch.
No, but I agree with Matt. But I think a lot of women, they have a hard time even accepting as they age, right? Because they still believe, they look at other women and still feel like you said they can compete. They still feel like their body's there, especially as older women, the ones that get in the gym and stuff like that. They see themselves as like, hey, these potential women are threats. So they don't see themselves as the 40-year-old version of themselves. They see the 20-year-old version of themselves. They have a harder time grasping they're getting older. So that's why they see themselves as the younger woman. They feel like, hey, I got this, I got that, I got that experience. Whereas men, like we said, like we can see ourselves in younger men and almost look at it like, man, that's when I was crazy, or that's when I wasn't really having my shit together, or man, if I could do
if
this.
I knew this
yeah,
when
if
I was
knew that
doing
now.
that.
So like for us, we look at younger dudes like, damn, bro, you have all this time to get your shit together so that when you get to my level, you can surpass
where I'm
me.
at. Yep.
Right. So we don't look at it the same way. We feel like, man, like if we knew what we knew now, we would have start younger. Like I say that to myself all the time. If I had the knowledge I had now at 18, god damn, I would be deep into 7 figures. So like at the end of the day, I think that's the difference between like how a man sees a younger man versus how a younger woman.
Why doesn't that make us bitter?
Why doesn't it make
like
us
on a
bitter?
deeper level? Why doesn't that make us bitter?
Well, Matt said earlier, it's enough out here for all of us.
No, it's not that. I think it's more about accountability because we realize that men, we understand that as a younger, like we had the opportunity to control that when we were younger. It's not like something happened to us that made that not go awry. We realized like shit, we had access to information. We could have made things different. We just get more reflective and saying, hey, what can we do? And then if we do end up having a kid or something like that, we know that we can impart that knowledge on the people all around us. Like Matt did talk about, is like, hey, we can now take that experience and we do. I'm not gonna say depending on who you have in your life, you have the opportunity to kind of stow that back into a younger person. Right. It could be, in a work relationship. It could be in a personal relationship. Like, hey, bro, like, yo, I could tell you this is what I know. And I could say most men, if you build a relationship with them, like older men, they'll spit game to you easily.
Right.
Easily guide you and say, hey, bro, this is what I know. Like, take it for what it is.
Yeah.
So will older women.
It depends.
We're talking about the majority though. Like
we talked about this right before.
Somebody let me know.
Wait.
Let me know when it's my turn.
But you know what though?
Let the ladies.
I had the question though, and I think they say that. I think older single women are less to do it than older married women are to do it. I think older single women have more of that complex.
You guys.
Unless 40-year-old single women that's dropping dimes.
I do.
Listen here, okay?
I don't like. See, when you do that, you open up the box for them to get anecdotal, and we want to talk about the majority.
No. Listen, y'all. I don't. Listen, that competition shit sounds ridiculous to me. I know that it's a thing. But also, I think women know that other women, especially when you're young, are hard-headed. So what I'm going to tell her that she going to listen to? I'm not going to try telling a 20-something-year-old to break up with her loser-ass boyfriend. Is it going to work? No, it's not. However, then you have the other kind of woman that might, really have good intentions trying to tell a younger woman, don't be with this kind of guy, don't be with that kind of guy. And although that information is probably gold, one, she's not going to listen, and two, that information might be tainted because she's coming from a place of scorn or bitterness, which can happen. So I feel like that's why maybe the older woman to younger woman conversation is less
Can I ask y'all a
frequent?
question? Do y'all get younger women to come to y'all face to face and ask for help? Do y'all get that?
I mean,
I do.
yeah.
I feel like it,
Yeah.
I would definitely feel like it depends on the type of environment that you're in, because and like y'all know I'm in the military or whatever, but I'm exposed to a lot more of a colorful plethora of an age group. So I might work alongside a 40-something-year-old and then alongside an 18-year-old, sometimes even a 17-year-old. But I don't necessarily agree with what you're saying, simply because I have been around that 40-year-old woman who has worked hard, maybe went through a divorce, has children, and she's not bitter. It just simply depends on the type of woman that you seek out mentorship from. And we were talking about this, how mentorship is important at every stage of your life. You're saying the majority, right? Mm-hmm. And I just feel like that, I don't want to say it's stereotypical, but placing that type of perception off onto older
I would
women,
like to also say it was a woman that said this quote.
and that's fine.
I just wanted to let you know.
I just feel like that deters younger Black females from going to the older women and saying, "Hey, auntie, can you help me out with this?" Mm-hmm. But then you do get sometimes those younger 20-year-olds that aren't gonna listen. But I feel like there are more younger 20-year-olds who aren't gonna listen and less older women who don't want to give them the information.
All right, I
don't think the not listening thing is gender specific, because there's a lot of young guys that don't listen.
100%. For sure.
Like,
But as a young guy, when you see, if somebody walked up to you, they see what you're doing out here in real life, Matt, they gonna want to listen to you.
Yeah,
They're not
I mean,
even
hopefully.
If they don't, then they're they're not smart. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just gonna say, do y'all get the younger women? Are they asking about how to be better women, or are they asking about how to be better men? I think there's a difference.
They're most of the time. Okay, most of the time, younger women, in my experience, are asking me how to get a certain type of dude.
Okay.
Or how to appear in the way that would help her to attract a certain type of dude. Or it's, I already have this guy. How do I make him do what I want him to do? And baby, you can't. You can't. Get a new one. Throw the old man away.
Lord.
Get a new one. I'm serious, but that's what I'm saying. They're hard-headed. So if they come to you and ask, "Oh, my boyfriend, he's doing all of this and all of this," and you're just sitting there like, "So what are the positives?" They're not gonna let go.
That's interesting. So that kind of goes back to what I said earlier, and I'm just asking, do you feel though, as women get a little bit older, that whole concept of just go get a new one becomes a little bit more difficult?
I'm in the weird middle space. I'm 27, right? My 28th birthday really is coming up, right?
But
so it's like get a new one, but also you do have to weigh the pros and cons of your situation. So literally, if you want to do it on paper, if the pros is like this and the cons is like this, as long as he's not, murdering people, or those cons aren't like super bad, then don't get a new one, but try some communication.
Are they typically upfront with the pros? Are they typically upfront with the pros, or are they more upfront with the negatives?
So if a girl comes to you and she's got a bunch of stuff to say, normally it's because some shit just happened. So she's full of the negative. So that's why you do have to ask her, what are the positives? Like I said earlier, because you just sitting here listening to trauma on trauma on trauma on trauma on bullshit.
Right.
Sprinkling some fuckery. So you have to ask, what are the positives? And then she can do her own assessment. If the positives are, but sometimes he makes me feel nice, then get a new one. Because lots of men can do that.
Zay.
I have been on the complete opposite side of the spectrum for this, because what I've noticed with younger women who do look up to me or do value my advice and my opinion is that initially when they meet me, they don't come out the box and ask. Like, I feel like that's men do that. Like, they could see a guy and they could like, okay, I like the way he moves. Like, yo, can I have a conversation with you? I feel like women, we sit back and we watch, and especially like younger 20, like they watch you, and then they kind of in a way like, I don't want to say start to mimic you, but like I've had situations like this a lot where I've been around a young girl and the things I'll talk about or the way I'll sit and I'll see like, okay, when you're with this group of people, you're not like that, but when she's with me, she's different. And I feel like it's kind of like the saying, like, in order for, if you want to be a millionaire, hang around millionaires, like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like women, young ladies are like sponges, like, so they're going to, a lot of times before they come out and ask, or you realize like, damn, this person's been looking up to me the whole time, they've been watching you. So I haven't necessarily like the young girls I talk to, their mind isn't
blank.
Yeah, or like with the relationship thing, like I've had relationship advice, but one thing I know, like, you can't tell a woman nothing about her man. Like, so I don't really go too deep off into that, because my biggest thing before I even got with my fiance, I'm an advocate of getting to know yourself. So my advice is not going to be throw the man away. I'm going to say, girl, go figure out who you are, because men and who you attract is nothing but a reflection of how you see yourself.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
so.
No, I'm gonna drop a bomb for Zach. All right. Shout out to Maggie, the substitute teacher. I bet y'all thought it was a man that said that. It was a woman. It was a woman that said that.
You know how old she was?
What are you talking about?
Maggie's like in her 50s or something like that.
Makes
So
sense.
I think like for younger women, like in your 20s, late 20s, that's considered a younger woman as well.
For
So
sure.
it's like,
Yeah.
When you're 50, 29
Yeah.
is
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
so a 50-year-old woman feels like she could still get a 21, 24-year-old man. So
100%.
that's why I think
Yeah, no, I know.
with this.
I know they're not gonna agree with us.
Oh.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
That's
like
why I said
a
in the
lot
very
of older
beginning.
women feel like I could still
Yes,
get
they
a
do.
24-year-old man,
They do.
25-year-old man.
We know, bro.
Especially the
A
ones
man
that
looks at a younger man, he's like, you know, like you said, I could give him game, I can mentor him,
Yeah.
he can learn something from me.
Yeah.
and you still feel like as you get older, your access to women, like Matt said, as you ascend, it actually gives you access to more bitches. There's 24-year-old women. No, it does.
Go ahead, Billy.
There's 24-year-old women that you knew when you were 24 that probably wouldn't give you the time of day, but if you go circle back now at 35, nigga, you'll clean that shit up.
Yeah.
We talked about this because I think
We did, and they
we're
they
kind
don't
of
understand
for that.
we're kind of the inverse. As when we're younger, we're more in that scarcity mode. But as we get older, we more so come into our abundance. I think with them, they're the opposite.
We not scared. We don't got none yet.
No, it's scarcity because we're seeing, oh, I need to get her. Oh, if she giving me some, I need to lock it down or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We think sex is not around every corner. But as we get older, our worlds expand, like we said a few episodes back. I think for them, I think the abundance is early. Like they can get any guy they want anytime they want. The
talked about
guys
this on
all over the place.
136.
As
Make
they
sure you
get
go back and
older,
watch
those things start to
136.
shorten.
But it's duality. So like you were saying, like with men, their abundance doesn't come, it comes later. With women, it comes earlier. And I feel like it's all about finding that partner. But I guess this is opposite from what we're talking about, because y'all are talking about women who, when they get older and things like that. But I feel like my biggest thing is I genuinely feel like investing into myself is finding the right partner.
Yeah.
Like, because my partner,
Facts.
if he's a man and he's getting better with time, like, baby, keep me young, fresh, and fit, okay? Like, and as a man, if we've been together and we're growing with each other, and I see, like, as a young man, I'm going to pour into him and be that woman for him, and I just feel like it balances out correctly when you find the right partner.
Right.
But that's how I feel.
Right.
And Lydia be in the club. She be seeing them old Jones trying to holler at the young Jones. She lying. She capping. You don't be seeing them 40-year-olds trying to holler. After you shot at me directly?
40-year-old women.
Calm
You said 40-year-old
down.
women.
Jeez Louise. But since we talking about all this, how do you pour into your man, let's get into the divine feminine. I have another clip for y'all. Y'all make it hard to transition. I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
A woman knew that her greatest power was silence. That's her greatest power, because then she can hear. If a woman really understands and knows who she is, she can walk in a room and take control of every man in the room. How she walks, how she sits, how she talks, how she be. We don't know how to be women. We know how to do what women do. You said to a woman, show me your majesty. What's that? Show me your divinity. And who's gonna do it? A woman knew that her greatest power was silence.
React. Let me say this.
Okay, wait. That is true.
Lord.
And there is something to the mystery of a woman that's not like with her mouth open all the damn time, right? And normally the woman that is quieter is a little bit wiser because you learn more with your mouth shut and your ears open. Yes. Okay, and also she's catching all the eyes and all of that stuff because she's probably poised and wonderful and soft. She probably smells like champagne and shea butter. Okay? Yes. Like V. But, right.
Land a plane.
Come on, girl.
This shit kiddie pool.
Whatever. But I do feel like that also ignores the other side of women, that women are colorful, wonderful human beings. We have lovely ideas. We see the world in a way that we want it to be. And that has value.
You know what this is a perfect example of? That last question. That's an old jank trying to give you some game. And he's like, yeah, but. Fuck all that she talking about. I'm colorful.
Yeah,
I don't want to be
real.
quiet.
I just said that ignores the other side of women because I can do both. Of course, I'm not talking all the damn time. I'm talking now because we're on a podcast. But normally I speak when spoken to or around the people that I
Say it
know.
like that.
Not, okay, but
I think that women
I
open
understand
up
what she's
more, to your point, as you break the ice, you get to know them. The clip sounds more like when you first meet the woman, she has the ability to kind of like set the tone in the room or attract the attention or do whatever she wants to do, really, if she's got it like that.
Yeah.
I would go ahead, Zay. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I would say I think what she was trying to say is a submissive woman or a woman that's in her feminine is exactly what a masculine man is attracted to. So with that, she has almost that man under remote control. Like that's his counsel. So when she is everything that he is attracted to, with this being a man's world, she has more control over the masculine man than a woman that's trying to run beside him. You know what I'm saying?
Bars.
I think a woman that's catering to what a man is actually attracted to actually has more skin in the game than a woman that's trying to clash with a man. Like if a woman's being polite, she's listening, she's doing all these things that we like, most men in the room are going to rotate around her, see if she's straight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cater to her.
Yeah.
Is going to put all that stuff in her order. So I think that's what she was trying to say. I think it's much deeper than just the little clip that she said.
No, it's much
Chris,
deeper. He said that on the head.
And yeah, 100%. And we talk about this a lot. We talk about agreeable and cooperative. When you're agreeable and cooperative, you're going to be listening more. You're going to be finding your ways to be able to speak and really build into that man. And I do think that's the idea of feminism. I think that's what she was saying. She wasn't saying, I think Lydia took it too far right. That doesn't mean you're not going to talk. There's not going to be things where you're going to be having to express your mental, or there's not going to be times where you're going to have to be dominant in some spaces. What she's saying is the key to feminism in certain spaces is that ability to, even when you have those ideas. Yeah, or feminine, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like there's power in that quietness. There's power in that being agreeable. There's quietness and being able to let your man speak. And that's what she's saying. That's where the power comes from. Whereas in certain instances with men, sometimes their power is going to come through their words or through the way they lead.
Bro, as a man, I took something from that. Sometimes you got to shut up. Listen, play the room. Don't overplay your hand. Like, just sit back and relax. I think some men have to take a little bit something from that. But I do think, like, she's trying to say what y'all superpower really is.
Yep.
Y'all really are powerful when y'all
I definitely agree with you. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Zay. Go ahead.
But I feel like a lot of women are afraid to come out and admit to the fact that we're afraid to operate out of that divine femininity. Because I know for sure I am, and I feel like I got my pinky toe in the door. Like, I'm almost there, but I still listen to Young Dolph. Like, like, I be in the car like man, I'll kill you. But I'm like, and I be telling him like all the time. I be like, babe, like today I'm gonna be feminine. I'm gonna be soft today. And he's like, okay. And it's like I'm trying, but to bounce based off of what you were saying, Chris, it's scary when you realize just how much control and power over your situation that you actually have. Like your softness, like, and getting to a point to where you respond to things no matter whether you're angry, anything, you're responding out of a softness and love and nurturing. And that's
you gotta be backed by a strong core. You can be, as long as you're solidified with yourself, you can be strong within. But with him, be soft. But it's backed. by a good foundation.
Yeah.
Like, I think y'all are so scared of it because when y'all have done it, it's just been a blind ignorance. It's just been subconsciously, I'm just gonna be submissive and do this. But as long y'all are smart women, y'all can work in that and work it to your advantage. I'm not saying make your intent dark, but I'm just saying, like, if you're soft and in your femininity, then you can play certain men and make certain men move the way you want them to move.
Yeah.
But
But
in
I-
order to do that, we have to feel safe. Like I have to feel safe to do that.
But I was going to ask a question though. So what comes first then? So if does it mean like the idea of being feminine is saying, hey, something that you're usually going to flesh out probably in solitude or something through healing, right? And then the next idea has to be, I have to find a man that's going to make me want to feel safe or get into that space. So is it, hey, I'm going to be with this guy and then some, like what she was saying, and eventually work towards that? Or am I saying, hey, I got to find a guy that I immediately feel
I'm
that
gonna
way
approach
about?
this one a little different because we've all been around the women that maybe in the office. She just knows how to play that soft role, and she got everybody in the office doing exactly what she wants. That ain't got nothing to do with a relationship. She just knows that this is my superpower. I can walk in a room, I can get all these men to be on my nuts, basically, and they gonna do what I want, and I don't gotta yell. I don't gotta be. No, it is manipulative, but see,
But in
what
a
happens is,
positive way.
yeah, I'm about to say, thank you. You beat me to it because I was about to say manipulation is not always a negative thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, all it is you getting somebody to do what you want them to do. Right. You know,
It's the indirect versus the direct. We're more direct.
Yes.
Y'all are more indirect. Just like the young ladies you was talking about that worked with you. She sat, she listened, and then she started to copy or whatever. I think she was just making sure certain places were safe. Y'all are survivors by nature. So y'all are never gonna be outright direct and try to manipulate a room with your bare hands. It's just not y'all. It's not how y'all move.
It's not how they
y'all
move at
are
all.
more like, let me see what this is like. Let me get this person's weaknesses by listening, and then I can play like that. I'm just saying in a sense of like an opposition.
Right.
That's where y'all are powerful. That's why y'all are our counsel, because y'all can see it. I can take you in a room with a whole bunch of dudes that I might be wanting to do a project with or something. You can say, oh, that dude, this is his weakness. This dude right here, this is what he going through. And that kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's the indirectness of me while I'm yelling in the room and trying to get them to, negotiate and all this stuff. You sitting there just getting a whole bunch of game that I'm not getting. But we're both moving in two different directions to the same objective. I think that's where the power really lies with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you miss out, because now y'all are trying to move in our lane and now we missing a whole bunch of blind spots.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had something else. Anybody got anything else? Oh, we rolling today. Last clip.
Hello,
And we're back from a quick break. I got one more clip for y'all. A man's affection is important.
Facts.
Yeah.
Where's it at? There we go.
It's bedtime. My daughter is acting a fool. She is screaming, I am leaving, and I'm not coming back. She'll sit up in that room. You have to give me my hug and kiss before I go to sleep.
yeah.
My daughter waited me out an hour one time. And I thought I was going to wait her out. I checked the camera. She's sitting up.
Ooh. Man, why
I
you
went in
just go
there.
up there? Yeah.
She looked at me. I looked at her. I put my head down.
Good.
I walked over. She said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I gave her a hug. I gave her a kiss. I told her I love her. And she laid down and she went to sleep. And it made me understand that my love is important. She has to have it.
That's right.
And no matter what I'm used to being, I don't get to be that way with her.
Right.
She ain't accepting it. It's bedtime.
We got daughters in here. This is a good one.
What you think, bro?
Me? Yeah, you. I tried that once.
She did the same thing?
Yo, Sienna's determination is up there with mine. So, yeah, she did. And I lost. Every time we've tried to... No, every time we've tried to wait her out, we've lost. Me and Caitlin. We've never beaten her, ever. One time I put her in the crib and she was supposed to go to bed, and she just stood up. She fell asleep standing up in the crib.
What
No, I'm telling you, she's a G, bro.
I love that.
Yo, I was like, I walked in there and she was like on the edge of the crib like this, holding her pink bear.
Damn.
Yeah, no, she's a G. So normally, I mean, I've tried it, like he said in the clip. I mean, I don't have no problem giving her no love, but sometimes when I want to tell her no or something like that, she's a winner. She's got it. I can't win. Be prepared. Hope for a son. You could a son. You like go to sleep.
Right.
A daughter. I don't know, man. It's tough.
I can see that.
I don't know. I feel like that tracks though, even into adulthood, because I don't know if other women are like this, but even if I'm having some sort of a disagreement with my dude, and it feels too not good, I'd be like, "Do you love me? I need you to answer that question. I don't care what else is happening. I need to know so that I can calm down and we can continue." I need to know.
Can I ask you a question, Lydia? Why is that? Why do y'all think our love hopscotches with y'all? What makes y'all think that?
I mean, I feel like everybody needs reassurance.
Because theirs does.
Mine comes.
Huh?
Because theirs does.
Who's that?
Guys are more apt to like unconditionally rock with you.
Damn.
Slow down.
That's how I feel.
Slow down.
That's not.
Slow down.
What y'all? I mean, don't come on, because they're gonna shoot at me and y'all gonna back me up. I'm gonna have to go in.
I think
y'all
if you
don't
look
wanna
at the
be.
totality of the population, I would say that most men probably are more prone to love unconditionally than women. Women have more conditions on what they expect and what they need. But I mean, on the flip side, men have their own shit too. Like it's not all.
Good job, Matt.
You know, what I mean, just to be fair.
It's like.
But
we love.
If you
I
look
think
at
we
the
love
total
harder.
population, I think the percentage would be slanted towards men in the unconditional love department.
I feel like y'all make too much stuff about y'all. Like,
we make too much stuff about
that. That's fair. Go ahead.
Calm down. So, and this is
the
kind of
topic
like
is a man's affection.
No, I think she's talking about us personally.
Like,
Is that what you're talking about?
No, not. But I think a lot of times
okay,
y'all be
never
like, oh, yo, they do this because us as men, no. Let's take it back a couple of times. Because I was actually about to answer your question, but it goes right into what you were saying. And I do feel like with women, sometimes love is very conditional. And the reason why I'm like that, where it's like I need to feel that love no matter what we're going through, is because as a child, when my mom used to get mad at me, she would take her love away from me. So when I operate with people inside, and I know it's like, okay, well, as an adult, you got to heal though. And yes, but it takes time. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I do work towards that, because I learned with me and him, when we have disagreements, that doesn't mean he doesn't love me. But initially starting out in a relationship where I didn't meet my dad till I was 16. Even now, me and my dad don't have the best relationship. I didn't deal with men like that. And the one man I did deal with, he was my grandfather. I'm like, okay, well, I think if he's upset with me, he doesn't want to love me no more. And even like this might be TMI, I don't care. I've had counselors that was like, you have a fear of like repercussions. Because I'm telling you, like, when she would get upset with me, my mom would go and lock herself in her room. And I wouldn't see my mom for days. And I was, like, in the 8th grade. My mom would not buy groceries. I had to do it for myself. So it's, like, that outcome of, okay, this is the situation. This is the reaction. Now, what's the outcome going to be? I'm anxious. I'm nervous. Because her love was extremely conditional.
It's volatile.
So it has nothing to do with y'all as men and da-da-da. Like, some people just have shit going on, like, you know what I'm saying?
I think her love was volatile. I think in order, even though it's misguided and that's an extreme, I think in order for someone to be upset with you, they have to have some kind of love for you. Like a parent, I'm not saying that our parents are perfect, but in order for them to be disappointed and upset, it comes from a place of love. The same with your partner. Just because we're yelling or we mad or we're giving y'all the silent treatment or whatever, and I'm not even trying to say, oh, that's correct or that's the right way to move. I'm just saying that it comes from love. Love is not perfect at all. It actually makes us more imperfect and more apt to mistakes.
It's an irrational emotion.
Yeah.
Right. And I think there's degrees. You can have a more calm love. You can try to center your love and make it better so it's not as volatile, so you don't explode or you don't do this or you don't do that. I think that's something we need to work on. But I will say I don't think we take our love from y'all. I think we hold y'all more to a standard, especially once we get set in a relationship. No, I'm not swooning over you anymore. Now it's time to work. Now it's time to grow. It's time to do this. It's time to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna hold you to this. And if you don't do certain things, I'm not gonna be, oh babe, yes, you're just so beautiful. and I think I think the man that doesn't love you is more apt to quit. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm out of here.
I think it's in the delivery and communication too. Like you can say it, you can get your point across. You start the conversation with, I care about you. The reason why I feel this way is because I love you. And this is what you did and this is how it made me feel.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you start the conversation with that, it's hard for you to feel like women are going to shut down. Like most women I've dealt with in my life, if they feel confronted, a lot of them tend to shut. Either there's two reactions: they're going to shut down and be quiet, which is not going to happen, or they're going to get angry and loud, and both of those don't result in a good communication or a good result. So it's all about how you start the conversation. If you start the conversation from a place of love and then be able to articulate why you feel the way that you feel, it's a more productive conversation.
Matt told you he went to
That
sales
is a
school.
really wild.
I told you, Matt told you.
Matt was like, I was like, damn, you good, bro? That's good. Yeah, good answer. Good answer.
That's real. You gotta
No.
set the tone of the conversation off. Rip.
Yeah.
What he's saying is 100.
Exactly. That was really wise, and I don't feel like enough men know that innately.
Yeah.
And that has to be learned. And
Like the only, but I mean, on the average, the most acceptable as men, you feel like you only have it's tougher to be vulnerable as a man. You want to be looked at as tough and masculine, and like anger is kind of like the most acceptable emotion for us, like population wide. Like if you look at just look at any guy. You don't see a lot of guys wear their heart on their sleeve like on purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of that is like you just got to learn how to communicate.
What he's saying is real, because even me coming to you with an issue says I need something,
right?
Yeah,
that you're not providing. So what he's saying is real.
What you think, Moody?
I agree.
I'm trying to get you to talk.
No, I mean the main thing, like I said, is communication. How you deliver, like not waiting 2-3 days after you done yelled, and because like you said, at that point it's like this man don't love me.
Yeah.
If he's treating me like this is not love. But Chris said love is shown in different ways.
Yeah.
So if I'm giving you the cold shoulder, if I'm there, that shows I care. Because if not, I don't give a fuck. Like I ain't going to show you no emotion about it. Like,
It's like women.
Well, that's how guys.
Women are.
That's saying as a man. That's how.
But the cold shoulder though, I feel like like to give me the cold shoulder is like, well, damn, like I know we may not be on the best terms right now, but like we still live together. Like you're not gonna cuddle me.
I feel like the cold shoulder is like the last resort. Like,
But what I was saying to you before the pod, right? You got love. It's all the way over here. That's an emotion.
Yeah.
You got anger. That's all the way over here. But they both equal. They just on the opposite ends of the spectrum. If I'm in the middle and I don't care, you really dead in the water. That's what I'm telling you.
One thing is that the other one can't coexist.
I agree with you. If you're giving your person the cold shoulder, not saying a word to them, that's immature.
Yeah.
You should be able to say,
it's still a
babe,
reaction,
I'm not feeling it right now. I need some space. That's it. And it could be like that.
So I don't know if this is gonna sound weird, right? But just bear with me. The type of affection I see a man give to his child is just attractive to me. And my thing is like, can I get some of that too? Like,
different.
can you operate out of that type of softness and affection that you do with them with me? And if you can, like, I'm yours forever.
That child typically unconditionally loves the father, though.
And some women are not soft too. Like when you being tough and hard and loud and vocal, I can't beat. I feel like I have to yell and use certain words. Yeah, so it's like
okay. So that's why I like what Matt said so much, right? Because if you don't do what Matt said and start with saying I feel this way out of love or whatever, even if you say it loud, right? Women are observing you while you're hooting and hollering, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is you're trying to convey to me, it might be golden, but also it's not. I'm not receiving it as a person that loves me.
Because your ego's in
right,
the way.
because of your tone, because of your body language. Even if you know that, but it's coming off to me. The words are hitting me like you
It's
so
all
and so down the street.
Like that's really what it is. Like if you're talking to a customer and they're upset about something, you can't match, like they can't, like you got to solve their problem before you try to sell them something. Like if you're upset at me about something, I got to address that you're upset at me, like acknowledge the fact that I did something to make you upset, whether I agree with it or not. Like a lot of times as a guy, you just got to be wrong, like to break that wall down, just to like get
Matt's relationship.
Matt giving game, bro.
No,
And they go in the kitchen and shut it up.
I'm not rolling with that.
He's trying to sell spices. He's trying to sell spices.
my demo is 70% women.
It's not being wrong.
Matt's relationship is going crazy.
Stop.
I'm gonna drop
It's
a
not.
No.
I get what you're saying, but
that
it's
wall down first.
yeah,
though,
it's
because
not
women
being wrong.
naturally throw that
It's
up.
being able to communicate to me that you understood what I said.
And I may tell you
that
I'm wrong
translates to
right
being
now.
wrong. Right.
You can
you don't have to agree.
I can tell you that I'm wrong up front, and granted, if you're upset about something like that, I've done something
Look at Chris's
to be
face.
responsible for that, right?
I mean, is that hard? Is that hard for y'all to do?
It's hard for us to lie.
My bag is like, I'm going to tell you I'm wrong up front, and I'm going to explain to you what happened, and then you'll tell me that actually you were wrong. So I guess, you know, that's how it works.
But most of the time, you're not going to hear that.
That man is a wolf.
Yeah,
Nah, that man is a wolf.
He said, "I'm gonna tell you was wrong. I was wrong, but then
I
later
gotta
you're
get
gonna
that
get
part
back
down.
to the game in 20 minutes."
And now you gotta like they'll listen to you.
Then I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna make a fillet
Exactly.
with some Brussels sprouts.
No, and crap.
Nice sauce
Subscribe
on
to
there.
the YouTube channel. You can do it too.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can do it too. No, he ain't lying because I made some lambs and
It makes it different.
I made some lamb chops and
Women
lobster
like
linguine.
Yeah, the lamb chops is a.
That's it.
I know.
Every time.
Ladies
Every
love
time.
lamb
Hit her
chops.
every time. You're right. Baby, I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I'm gonna practice
but
that.
immediately now she's listening because you said something she wants
Baby,
to hear.
you right.
Yes. That's the secret. That's the secret sauce.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm with
Man.
Chris. I'm like,
Man.
wow.
Yeah, we need some rap. We need some raps. Baby, I'm wrong.
Baby, I'm wrong.
Baby, I'm wrong. I might be wrong.
But when you do it
I'm wrong.
like that, that comes across dismissive. Because he tried that shit, and I'm like, you wrong. Like,
You can't
It's like, no.
Because then they be like, oh, we see blood. Let's go.
Facts. He put his gun down. Shoot.
If I come to you and I'm like, babe, you know, I asked you to clean the kitchen and, you know, you said you would because, you know, I got a lot on my plate and you didn't do that. Okay, I'm sorry. You're wrong. I'm right. You're right. I'm wrong. My bad. I'll clean it up. Who the fuck are you talking about?
Wow.
But that comes across dismissive. You didn't even.
That's real life though.
No, that
Zay's
comes
telling real
across-
life. Zay,
that comes across
Thank you. Thank you.
So
That's
get,
how it be. That's how it be.
Hey, Mark.
so give us an
So
example.
what did you want? What did you
Give us
want
an
him to say?
example.
Yes, wait,
of
wait,
what you
no,
would
that's
like.
perfect.
Hold on. What did you want him to say?
It's too many people talking.
Moody. What was the
Moody had a great question. Go ahead, Moody.
No, so what do you want the response to be?
There's no specific.
Look, he's sitting up.
Like algorithm of words I want him to use. It's just more so. It's more so. Look. Yeah, you got
They
it.
don't know.
Sometimes women just want to be mad too.
Facts.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so here's my thing. If you could jump up and say, okay, yeah, I'm wrong, you're in the right, then you knew you should have. So why didn't you? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Can he be
so
perfect?
That's what being wrong is, though.
But what I'm saying is, it's like you didn't even really let me get out what I was saying. It was just kind of like a reflex. Like, yeah, I'm wrong. No,
Okay,
like.
wait. So what it is?
No, you're
What,
not.
no,
That's
you're
what
not.
happens in real life.
You're not. And let me help you.
You guys in the comments, let us know. Is Zay crazy?
No, let me help
Is
you.
Zay crazy?
It's not crazy.
So what it is? If you do it too fast. If you do it too fast, it comes across dismissive, like you said, because women want to know that you did some inflection, like you thought about it.
No, y'all
You
want
probably thought about it
Right.
before you got here and told us though. Like I'm on the couch, I did something, I got distracted, I didn't do what you asked me to do. I'm already prepared for you to be upset when you get home.
Right.
It's like,
Matt is married. He's giving y'all gems right now.
I've already accepted it. I've already
I'm just
I
saying,
did the cooking and I
that's
paid
what
the
it
bill.
is, though. We want to be able to know
facts.
that you thought
Don't minute
about
dishwasher
it.
for me, thank you.
That's it.
Great job, man.
Just show your work.
Yeah.
So was it more? Hold on. Was it more you wanted to say about the situation to where you said you didn't get everything out? You didn't.
I feel like it was the emotion behind it. It felt dismissed. Like if I stepped on Willie's shoes right now and he was like, "Yeah, you
Like
stepped on
Yeezys?
my," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry."
Whatever.
What'd you say? It's kind of like, well, damn, like. Are you actually listening to what I'm saying? Like, did you actually?
That's crazy. I didn't hear that.
What
All I
I'm
heard was you
saying.
stepped on my shoe, my bad.
Okay.
Narcissism.
So now I'm crazy. Now I'm a
Narcissism.
narcissist.
You said it.
No, you're taking your
You said
anger. Your anger in that moment is not world ending. Y'all take y'all anger and
So
act
if I
like it's
stepped on your shoe, I was like,
Armageddon.
oh, damn,
It's
my
not.
bad. And you
Nah, I'm with her though.
How
It's
was
how they
that,
say
how
it.
was that narcissism? I'm not
Because
asking
you're-
you to feed my ego. I'm asking you to
What?
do some self-reflection. Like if the same
Over the
way
dishes? That's what I'm saying. How long of a self-reflection? You asked no, it's simple. No, it's simple. You asked me to do the
Do
dishes.
you want to come home to a dirty house?
You asked me to do the dishes.
Okay.
I didn't do them. I was wrong. That's not a. It's not. We don't need to go on a
Any
journey.
other damn
I gotta go sit at the beach and look out to the
No.
ocean and figure it out.
No, what I'm not gonna let y'all do is try and zero in on the fact of this little example she used. Because every other fucking time y'all want to go all deep digging up under everybody's fucking balls.
Okay, give me another example. Give me another example. Give me another example.
So that's my thing. So if I'm arguing about, if you're arguing about the dish of the house being clean, then you want that experience. If it's something more serious or something more depth, how he's going to handle that. But it's the dishes. It was dirty. It was done. I didn't do it. Okay, you was right.
No, Moody, I got you. I
But
got
it's
you.
not
No, Moody,
just
no.
the dishes. So in your mind, you think it's just the dishes, but in my this is how I feel. Babe, if you know I keep the house clean. I've been having a long week. For me to get to a point where I'm asking you like, babe, can you please pick up the dishes? I'm clearly stressed. I clearly have a lot going on, and I'm depending on you to look out for me. You got food. I cook your food. I bring your food to you. I clean the house all, and I ask you for this one thing, like have my back. It feels like you didn't care.
It's his lack of understanding of what you're going through.
Yeah, or
not
even
the dishes.
giving a fuck.
So that's the way you articulated to him that way. Like, I feel I'm not mad at you about the dishes. I'm upset that you don't recognize that this week I've been stressed out. These are the things that I'm experiencing. This is how I feel.
That's where they miss it.
That's
bro.
how you have the conversation. Not like, motherfucker, I told you to do the dishes. Like, that's
and then
not
even
how you
then,
talk
if
to
you
a guy.
tell me, motherfucker,
Now
I told
you
you the
giving me
dishes, I'm not gonna just say
chores.
like
I'm
you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like I'm wrong. I'm like, yeah, what?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm like,
But it all goes back to communication. Like, you got to be able to articulate how you feel and why you feel that way, and then we can have an adult conversation.
So his response was based on your delivery.
Oh my God.
The truth, though.
That's
DDT her ass real quick.
I'm gonna drop movement
too.
I see the comments now. She'll
No,
never have a man.
but no, you got
right
hold on,
there.
no.
He right now.
No,
She'll
you gotta
always
tell him,
be
Zay,
single.
you got a ring on. They have half of them on the comments, they ain't got nothing. They only got a man.
Right.
And he said he just default. You was right.
Because they was going in on me.
It's all good. They
Yeah,
going
don't
on
read the
everybody.
comments.
No, you gotta read them.
I really don't care though, but
You be in the comments. Don't do that.
You were right.
I
though. That was a good.
Matt responded to anybody that he. What dude
Matt's
said something
the
about. Matt said something. Somebody said something about your platform. He's like, okay, cool. Show me how you run your 800,000 sub business, please, please, sir.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I want to know. Me and my whole team going to New York
I'm
this
down to
weekend.
learn.
Yeah. What's up? Yeah, we're gonna shoot videos in Paris next week. What are y'all doing for your business?
I did not say that.
Oh, I said that. I'm ad libbing.
He was
I'm
over
ad
here
libbing.
silently agreeing, didn't say nothing really.
You didn't have her back.
You ain't have her back. But he
and
did.
she feels like you didn't have her back.
No, y'all did because it always be something small. And the guys, we hear what you are talking about. So you're talking about the dishes to him.
We're
So-
literal.
Yeah. So he's like, damn, you right, my bad. You're right.
I should've
And you're
watched-
like,
Why you
nigga,
tripping?
I ain't just right. It's been all week you've been fucking up. You like, he don't know that because he's like, damn, I just didn't do the dishes.
You're right. So next time it's more like, hey, Kadeem, I feel like I'm not a part of the team when you don't play a song I would like to hear.
And I'm gonna
Kinda
say,
like that. Kinda
I'm
like
gonna
that.
make rule number 12. I control the aux in
It
here.
feels dismissive. Because you're literal. So I feel like
That's a more fair way to express
There you
yourself.
go.
Thank you.
Give her a bomb. Give her a
Nah,
bomb.
because I feel
Give her a bomb.
I hold the right.
Give-
When you bring
Yes.
your Bluetooth speaker in here, we'll play what you want to hear.
I got a Bose. I got a Sony.
Yeah, it is. I want to hear what I want to hear. This is my space.
Driver's
The man takes showers in here, y'all. It's just-
He lives here.
Well,
A whole bad.
I work so hard on the pod that I do sleep in here sometimes. Sometimes I'm editing all night, and I wish two of them would come in here and do it for me, but it won't fucking happen. So because I want to turn the pod out tomorrow with Matt, because this is a great pod, I'm going to be in here all night, do the audio, do the video, do all the timestamps, and it'll be out. So if that means I got to sleep in this bitch, that's what I'm doing. So when you guys want to drop your own podcast instead of asking me how to do it, come fuck with me.
You want me to bring you some cereal?
No, I don't eat in here.
Okay.
And you probably eat something with high fructose corn syrup or some
You
shit.
don't like Frosted Flakes, nigga? You
Six
like
pack.
Frosted Flakes.
I do not like
Don't play
Frosted
with me.
Flakes.
I love it.
I done seen you eat a box
I'm
of Frosted
instigating all
Flakes.
this shit. I love it.
Anyway, yeah, what the hell? Take showers where? I would take a shower at the gym before I did that. Anyway, great pod. Homeless. I'm sorry for all Matt's people that came here to hear them talking crazy about me, bro.
don't apologize.
But if you're here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Everybody that watches our show, if you like to cook, you're into cooking, you want to learn how to cook, I learned a lot of great base fundamental skills. I'm having whole Christmas brunches now. They, top tier. What you think, Willie? Top tier homemade cinnamon rolls, steak, porterhouse, all that. We going crazy. So, he has great products. The all-purpose seasoning is a must. I'm sure the flour is because The all-purpose stuff is definitely a must, and the knife is top tier. Lemon Bay hot all-purpose. Obviously, I'm a fan.
Don't forget the food thermometer too. That's a
Yeah. You know what I use, and I don't even be thinking about. Oh, this is messing.
Very
You're right.
important
The food thermometer does help. Yeah. You need that. Get your steak right where it needs to be.
Absolutely.
Get that salmon right. It's flaky. It's just
Buttery. Yeah.
buttery, bro.
Chicken breast don't be dry.
Yeah. No.
Stop serving up that dry.
That dry chicken.
Dry chicken's the worst shit.
Where can they find your stuff for your live events, all your stuff? Tell them where to find you, bro.
MrMakeItHappen.com. Everything is there. I've finally bit the bullet and bought the domain for an egregious price. But yeah, MrMakeItHappen.com.
You had to buy it from somebody.
Yeah, somebody had it, wasn't using it. But yeah, MrMakeItHappen.com. You can catch YouTube there, all of my links, all of the products. I'm Mr. Make It Happen on all platforms: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram,
Blue check,
Facebook, etc. So check me out. I appreciate it.
It'll be all in the link below. I'm gonna put Moody stuff in there too. He not out here to help you with your videos. So unless you want to get on the team,
he's spoken for.
Yeah, and you got to be nice to get on the team. So, you know what I mean. So make sure you guys do what my baby says and
like, subscribe, hit the bell. Hit the bell.
And we out of here.
I like podcast, Daddy.